want to see what I can do with the time I've got left. I want to make sure that every moment of what I'm doing, has purpose, and that I'm actually accomplishing the things I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And let me ask you a question.
For sure.
Why do you want to have a life that has purpose? Why do you want to, what's that matter to you?
Man, fulfillment, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that living a life of fulfillment, it really just makes you a happier person. I guess. Is that yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100. People are looking for happiness, right? People are looking for joy. People are looking to be happy and joyful and ecstatic. And again, as I said earlier, life's tough, life's hard, things happen, right? But to truly be fulfilled, right, is to feel that happiness and joy. And at the end of the day, when you lay down, people say all the time, you go to sleep, you lay down, and you can say, man, I had a good day today. Like I really pushed myself. I did things that I never thought I would do.
Right.
There's joy, there's happiness, there's fulfillment, there's purpose, there's this inner sense of I did it, an accomplishment, right?
Yes.
And what happens, Jesse, is that you hit these milestones in life, and you kind of you do one accomplishment, something that you face a fear and do something wild, and then it's like, wow, that was great, and you feel so good, but that leads to the next one, and then you just keep adding them up, and you come to realize all of a sudden that, man, you know what, I may not have everything my neighbor has. I may not have everything my friends have,
right.
but I'm freaking happy. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing stuff that makes me happy. Yeah. I'm pushing myself to degrees that are giving me this inner peace and joy and happiness and make me feel better. And what a way to live. And why not, Jesse?
Yes.
Why not live that way starting today? Why, don't say, hey, when I turn 30, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And that's why I appreciate you. That's why, it's like, hey, let's do this.
I appreciate that. I am the master of saying, tomorrow I'm going to do something different.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, birthday's coming up, that'll be a fresh start. New Year's, I can make some goals, I can really get this life together, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. I think everyone has these sort of almost arbitrary dates in their mind of, this is when I'm really going to make an effort on myself, or this is when I'm really going to live my life to the fullest.
100%. That's the worst time ever is New Year's, right? It's like that's when the gyms, that's when everyone makes all their money, right?
Yeah.
Everybody goes like, I'm going to do the share, then they go and buy memberships and never go. Right?
That's right.
Or it dies, and
yeah.
that's the thing is I don't want you, right, and our listeners or viewers, wherever you're watching or listening to us. I don't want you to have resolutions, right? I don't want you to have this resolution. I want you to actually have a total revolution inside yourself. It's not about making a resolution and hope you're going to fix it, hope you're going to get there, hope you're going to do what you want to do. You want a revolution inside. You want it's like, it's not a hope anymore. The other problem is that when you make a resolution, whether it be New Year's, like, okay, this year, damn it, this year I'm going to do, I'm going to lose, 100 pounds, like, that's stupid, like, because you get up there, you work for a full week in the gym, and you're pounding, you're sweating, and you lost 1 pound, you go, that's it.
Yeah.
This is going to take me 100 years, I'm done. Like, forget it, why did I start this? Rather than saying, I'm going to lose a pound, right? Like, and I'm going to, so, that's some of the things that we want to go through and teach and make sure that we're biting off the right size, because we need to be able to get a win, right? And then get another win, and then push a little bit further, push a little bit harder, and kind of go that direction. And you know what, you're not alone, man. I mean, procrastination's a killer, right? And we've all been there and done it. And I'll be honest with you. So, me, myself, and I mean, when I was a little bit younger than you, when I was about 17, I had all these dreams of being uber successful, and I was gonna make my first million. That was my version of success.
Yeah.
If I make $1 million, I'm successful, right? I had lived in the Playboy Mansion, have Ferraris outside, flying girls all around the world. That was sort of my, when I was 17, that was my hopes and dreams. Right? It wasn't like about, I hope I'm healthy and I'm physically fit and
have a good retirement plan,
and all that stuff. It was Playboy Mansion, Ferraris, and yachts.
Right. Because when you're 17, that's all. Yeah,
it's $1 million in the bank. I'm set.
Yeah, of course.
And I started businesses, and I was 17. I mean, it was crazy. And I was actually doing fairly well, doing actually really well. And then, I fell in love and I got married young and had children, and then all of a sudden life smacked me in the face and said, oh, time to grow up. You can't have those dreams anymore. Now you need to get a secure job with a good pension, good benefits, because now you need to get, for kids and family and the whole 9 yards. And I don't regret anything. I don't regret my life. I love my kids. I have 3 amazing kids. And so I don't regret any of that. But, there's one thing that I can guarantee. There's 2 things I can guarantee you in life. Number 1 is that we're all going to die, right?
Yeah.
And number 2 is we don't know when that day is going to be.
Yeah, That's true.
And you can make a resolution when I'm 30, you know,
Mhm.
next year or next month. But the thing is that tomorrow's not a guarantee.
Mhm.
And I don't just mean death, it could be anything. Like your situation could be radically different. You know, when I was, you know, between 40 and 50, I was between 40 and 50, man, I sound old. Between 40 and 50, in my 40s, you know, I was actually doing things that I just stepped out. I went wild one day,
Okay.
and I decided I'm just going to, I'm going to sell. I had 3 kids.
Mhm.
I'm going to sell my house. I'm going to sell everything I own.
Wow.
I'm going to pack everything I own into one minivan and pack my family up and move from Canada to Florida.
Wow.
And I'm going to just pursue my dream. I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to travel around the United States. I'm going to do all these great things, and I did.
Yeah.
I literally went to. I moved from at the time Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Sold everything in 1 week. I mean, I literally sold everything. Like, in other words, I sold my house privately,
Wow.
and they wanted it in 1 week. So then I had to sell all my furniture because I was just taking what was in the minivan, right?
Wow, yeah.
I mean, literally, it was so bad. I put signs out on the street. Everything must go. Like, no joke. Like, everything was going to go. I literally had people draining out my kid's fish tank. I drained half the water out and carrying these fish down the street, like emptied my entire house. And
Wow.
we packed up and left, and with young kids at the time, and everybody thought we were crazy. Everybody, you know, families were just owning us. Like, it was just like, you are insane. You've lost your mind and everything else. And I ended up being down in Florida for 10, 12 years and traveled all across the United States.
Wow.
And was able to speak to thousands of people and help a lot of people. And it was phenomenally and wonderful.
Wow.
And think I'm living my dreams. My dream, like, you know, like where I get my satisfaction, my purpose, my
Mhm.
fulfillment is from helping people and seeing people grow and seeing people fulfill their dreams and live their life and be happy and joyous. And it just, oh my God, it feels so good to me, right? I'm living my best life. I thought at the time was living my best life. And then at the age of, at 40, right at the age of 40, I got diagnosed with the Parkinson's disease, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Wow.
Life's over, it's finished, right? I had so much more I wanted to do, and so much more people I wanted to help, and so many other things that I wanted to pursue. And I hit one of those life obstacles, those roadblocks, those speed bumps, as I call them, and it, you know, it took me out for like 5-6 years. And then, so, you know, but I retrace and I go back, but I'm thinking, okay, well, now I gotta be serious, and I gotta look after my health. I gotta make sure I have enough for my kids and enough for retirement. So I went back in the corporate world, and, you know, in a short, you know, 5 or 6 years, I made my way up in the corporate world. And, you know, before I know it, I was working for a Fortune 500 company. I was, you know, managing, you know, 3 provinces, like, you know, Western Canada, of a you know, $79 million budget, 312 employees, you know, and running this entire thing, and it was great. And I thought I was feeling really good.
Mhm.
All this with Parkinson's disease, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
And so I thought I was doing like super great and everything else. And I went home one day, and I was laying there, and I was laying in bed, and I looked at kind of, you know, was looking up, and I'm like, am I really happy? You know, am I really doing what I want to do? Am I really, you know, fulfilling my life's purpose?
Right.
And I was, to a small degree. You know, I was working with and helping a handful of people,
Mhm.
and which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but I want to help masses. I want to help as many people as I possibly can. You know, if I've got so many years left of life,
Sure.
and I'll tell you, it's one thing, man. If you ever wake up and all of a sudden you have an expiry date, you know, like, you've got like, hey, in 10 years, you know, it's like, oh, let's go, pitter patter, let's get at it,
No
right?
kidding.
So let's move on. So I literally woke up one morning, and I said, that's it, it's enough, and I walked away from my Uber 6-figure job,
Yeah.
and just packed it all in. And I said, that's it, I'm gonna help people online. I'm gonna start making TikTok videos and you know, YouTube videos and everything
How
else.
did you get started in that, by the way? Where did that even come from? I mean, you're coming from this huge job, and now it's like, I'm gonna enter the digital world and be, you know, an online presence. Where does it even come from?
Yeah, well, man, like I literally So, funny story. So when I do something, I do a lot of research, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do these videos. So I start studying YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and how they work and all this kind of stuff. And I started on YouTube, just filming motivational videos, right? At Doing Life Today, and that's one thing. All of our channels are at Doing Life Today, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Right.
So I started filming these videos, and they were great. It was a slow burn, but I was feeling good, and I was started. I mean, some of the early videos are just horrible. It's like, oh my god, man. Like really, and it was a slog. It was a tough slug, and so I was slugging away on there and slugging away on Instagram, and then I'm like, well, I better try TikTok because Gary Vaynerchuk said to do it or whatever. So I jump on there and I'm doing it, and man, I'm like literally getting like 20 views on TikTok and 20 views on Instagram with 50 and hey everybody that follows me like on TikTok, I'm like, oh my god, I went up to 49 on TikTok. But I felt embarrassed. I'm like 50, like I'm 50 years old on TikTok. What am I doing? And it was so funny because I'm slugging away. I'm doing things that I can do, and I'm coaching people and coaching people online and everything else. And it's going well, but it's not about being big, right? It was just fun. It was exciting.
Sure, yeah.
Because I was doing something. I was doing something that I wanted to do, and something that was fulfilling me, and something that I love. I love media. I love I just love it. So so I was feeling great. And then my son's girlfriend and my daughter were laughing at me one day on my TikTok. They're like, "Oh, look at you, Dad. You got 50
Giving you a hard time for it.
Yeah, you got 50 followers. But you said you're doing it all wrong." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" Like, man, I studied TikTok. I'm trying really hard. And so my daughter and my son's girlfriend, they cut up this video, whatever.
Okay.
Again, I'm getting like maybe 50 or 60 followers. I'm getting maybe 20 views on a video, and I'm thinking that's
just
great.
like,
That's cool. Right, 20 people watched that. I hope it helped them.
I hope they got something from it. Yeah.
So they spice up one of my videos and they throw it up there, and I wasn't paying attention, and
sure.
I walked by and about a couple hours later my phone's like blowing up. And I'm like, well, that could have been a mistake because it said like followers 1,250 or something. And I'm like, I was so excited. I'm like, I have 125 followers. I have 125 followers, right? I'm like kind of dancing. I went from like 50 followers to 125.
That's
and then I looked at like, wait a minute, there's a zero on there. It's 1,250, not 125.
No.
And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I'm like, okay, this is pretty exciting. So then my kids came over for dinner, and I was like, you'll never believe this. I had 1,250 followers on TikTok.
Wow.
And my son's girlfriend goes, well, what happened? And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, I looked at it about an hour ago. This is a couple hours later.
Sure.
And there was 15,000.
No.
I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, so this video just exploded. I think right now on TikTok it's like 1.4 million views.
Holy smokes.
I grew to 25,000 followers that day.
Wow.
So I went from 50 to 25,000.
Right.
And now it's like, holy moly. And so it was just fun. It was exciting. And, and again, for me, it's really not about, how big or numbers. It's just,
I look
at numbers of people, people that are, that got enough from a video or a post that they said, hey, I like this, or hey, this helped me, and that's all I want to do, right?
Of course, yeah.
So now, so same thing on Instagram. I had like, I think 100 followers. But anyway, today, it's only been about a year.
Yeah.
About a year. So we have over 100,000 now on TikTok and Instagram, and
That's
100,000 people that we get to reach out to and touch, and
of course,
and it's awesome and amazing and exciting. Which is why, honest to God, leading into this podcast, it was like, how can we do more? How can we help more people? How can we talk longer? How can you
reach as many people as you can?
That's what
people are finding value and it's helping them. I mean, how did you not want to continue that, right?
So that's all I want to do. It's amazing. So so we started this podcast and really, we're dedicated and devoted to, or whatever you want to call it, to doing it every week and to making sure that we are helping people that want to be helped, right? Here's the one thing, if you want to change your life, you have to change your life. No one's going to change it for you. You want to improve your life, it's not going to improve by luck or hope or circumstance. You have to do things that are going to change it for you, or change the direction, change the course, improve certain situations. And really that's where you need accountability, you need motivation, you need inspiration. So it's a place where they can plug in once a week and get, if you need some extra motivation, you're going to get it. You need some inspiration, hopefully you're going to get it. you need some accountability. Well, you know what? We'll go back every week and let's see what's going on. And
Yeah.
speaking of accountability, this is what I find so amazing, and awesome coming out of things is you're going to be my guinea pig.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Man.
I'm hoping that I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow from this, and I think that if people can see, hopefully, some good results through me, that you can impart some wisdom onto me.
If it's not, sorry, it didn't work. Experiment over.
Well, I'm only human. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to be the guinea pig for this whole thing. I'm excited to get started.
Well, you know what? What I want to do, Jesse, is every week I want to bring, and I want to impart some things to teach on something, right?
Okay.
A life hack, something that you can implement, small steps that our listeners or viewers can implement immediately that week,
Sure.
and see an automatic change, right? The thing is that the only person that can change themselves is themselves, right? So. And when we talk about if it worked and should it work and maybe it's going to work, the only way it's going to work is if you do it. Right?
That's true.
So
That's true.
really, we hold our own destiny. Like we hold our destiny in our own hands. And really, what all I can do for you and for our viewers and our watching is guide you. Right? I can give you suggestions. I can give you help. I can give you inspiration, motivation. But and so really, one of the first things we do is like, okay, are you serious? Do you want to do this? Do you want a better life? Do you want to change? Do you want to be fulfilled? Do you want to be successful? Purposeful? Do you want to be happy? Then let's go on this journey together. And the hope and the hope is that many people on social media and listening to this podcast are going to follow along with us, right?
Yeah.
They're going to come along, and so every week I'm going to give them something. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give them something. I'm going to give them some tips, some tricks, some life hacks, things that they can do. Again, like I said, simple things. I'm not talking about, hey, tomorrow you're going to go sign up to fly to Mars or whatever, change your life,
Right.
But like little things that you can do today
Right.
and tomorrow and the rest of this week that are going to change things. But I'm going to keep on your butt because it's all
Good.
about accountability. And our listeners are just going to follow along, right? And they can do it with us and do it together. And they can see some of the pain and struggle you're going to go through and see.
I'm an open book.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm going to be open about the whole experience. I'm excited for it.
I think it's amazing. And here's the other thing is that there's so many people listening to this right now that could be stuck in a rut or could say, hey, I've tried so many things. I've read so many books. I've watched videos. I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. I've done that. And there's no shame in that, right? There's no shame in feeling in a rut or feeling down or feeling, just like, oh my gosh, like I'm not where I wanted to be at this stage of my life. Because whether you're 20 years old, whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, so many of us, actually the majority of us, would look in the mirror, if we're being honest, and say, I'm not where I thought I'd be.
Yeah.
And so there's, what people misunderstand is that it's not just you, right? It's not just you that may be struggling in an area. It's not just you that isn't all perfect and living their best life. It's 99% of the population.
Right.
But what I also want you to understand, what I want people to understand is that there's the definition of whole. Like I want success, right? Like I want you to be successful, and we have to define what success is for us. Like what what is that? When I do this, I'm successful, or when I do this, I'm successful. But I look at it like not as like these little moments in time. Like okay, when I make my first $1 million, I'm successful. When I start a company and I have 100 employees, I'm successful. When I buy the new car I love, I'm successful. Because the true definition of success is nothing broken and nothing missing, right? Nothing missing, nothing broken. So you can be super successful right now you can go out and buy this great car you always wanted and feel successful.
Right.
But are you truly successful? You may have you have a girlfriend or you have a relationship.
I do.
Maybe it's I'm not saying this is happening, but maybe it's not going well right now. And if that's not going well, but yet that's going well over here, and this isn't going well over here, then you're not truly successful.
Right.
Because you're not truly like you're I got this great car, I feel so great, but oh my god, now I get home and we're gonna have this argument, we're gonna fight. I don't, it's not going well.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? So you have to be successful in all areas. So when I'm talking about successful, when I'm talking about changing life, when I'm talking about living this best life, it's in all areas, right? It's financial, it's physical, it's mental, every area of your life that we can make little tweaks to that are going to get you and start you on this journey. It's not a like I was going to say get rich quick scheme, but it's like, it has nothing to do with money. but
it's aspects of who you are.
And it's a journey, man. It's a lifelong journey where you're continually pushing yourself, where you're continually having these triumphs, and then you're also coming into life and having curveballs, and life will throw them to you. But it's all how, if we can change our mindset to how we react to things that happen to us, and how we, like, we can get to a point where this curveball comes at us, and it's not the end of the world. Right? Like, it's not the end of the world. Have you ever had something happen to you, like, where you're like, if you ever think, if this happens to me, I'm done?
Sure.
Like in any, like, it could be your relation, like, do you ever feel that way?
Like,
if something goes wrong, like, can you pick something?
All
Like,
the time. I mean, your boss calls you into the office, and,
Yeah.
and maybe you're thinking, oh no, like, is this something?
like you lose your job.
Yeah.
And if I lose my job, I'm screwed.
Right. What am I going to do?
Have you ever lost a job before? Have you
No.
ever quit a job before?
Oh, definitely.
Have you ever been without a job before?
Sure.
And you're still here.
I'm still-
Oh my God, you made it, man.
Isn't that funny
You
how
made it, and you're in another job.
Isn't it funny how in the moment that can occupy
Oh,
so much of who I am and freak me right out, and like all the alarms are going off, and when I get home from work and I can look at my family and be like, wow, maybe that isn't such a big aspect of my life as
it's true. It's a mindset.
as it was in
though.
the moment.
It's a mindset, because we're trained, right? And most of us are trained that when we think of a situation, we always like the worst thing possible, like the worst negative thing possible. And if that thing happens, then this is going to happen, this is going to happen. So then you start this whole trail.
Yeah.
I lose my job.
Domino
Well, then, my
effect.
God, I might lose my apartment. If I lose my apartment, then my girlfriend's going to leave me because I won't have any money, and she's, that's no good. And I'm going to have to, then they're going to come take my car. But we always go to this worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And like I said to you, this is, I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, but I'm going to take a big leap of faith here.
Sure.
That you're 29 years old, you're going to be 30 years old. I'm assuming that this isn't your first job.
Yeah.
Right?
That's correct.
That you've left other jobs, that you've been, let go of other jobs or left other jobs,
Yeah.
but you're still here. It wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
Right? It's not. It's just not the end. And in so many things, so people in relationships, people are like, oh my God, if she leaves me or he leaves me or if we break up, I'm done. I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know very many people from the day they were born till the day they die were with one person in one relationship. Everybody has an ex-girlfriend or an ex-boyfriend or
Right.
ex-lover, ex-partner, ex-whatever.
Right.
And guess what? We're all still here.
We're all still here.
We made it. We made it. You take those experiences, and if you have the right mindset,
Mm-hmm.
you look at them, you learn from them, you look at things that you could have done differently, things you could have done better,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to the next experience in life and just do it better. And it's just this gradual better thing. But again, can you imagine walking through life and not thinking of always the worst case, but the best case? So the boss called me in the office.
Yeah.
Your guy goes, oh shit, I'm done.
Yeah.
What if it's, oh my God, I'm getting promoted. Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, why do we go there? Think, like, why does it go there, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to teach you, is how are we going to change that mindset?
All right.
So that, but also not crazy, not, what am I going to say, like, not,
Not like fanatically.
you're not fanatically where it's like, I'm getting promoted, I get fired. And then you're done, right?
Yeah.
We want to teach you how to overcome those obstacles, how
Right.
not to be, how not to, like,
Don't spiral from that.
you got to feel things, right?
Yeah.
And you got to feel hurt, and you got to feel bad, and you got to feel upset. Everybody does. It's a human emotion. It's normal, and it's
Right.
normal. But the difference between somebody who is progressing and living their best life and going for it and living their dreams and just is, yeah, we feel it,
Mhm.
but then we move on. We
Yeah.
feel it, we deal with it, we learn from it, and then we just take on that next step, that next adventure. We go bigger and better and harder,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
And that's where we need to get to,
Totally.
right? So it's positive stuff, positive stuff, positive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So that's what
I
we're
think
going
that's
to cover.
fantastic. Yeah.
That's what we're going to cover.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, right on. Right on. So let me ask you a question.
All right.
Is there anything going on in your life? Is there anything happening in your life right now? Is there any place that you feel anything? Are you? Ask me questions. Let's put it that way. I don't know.
Ask you a question.
Yeah, like what do you want to do? What do you want to grow? What do you want to learn? What do you want to where do you want to start?
What do I want to be good at? Well, I mean, there's a few areas in my life, I guess, that I ideally will have under control. At some point, which is, I mean, obviously finances is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know I'm not, getting close to retirement or anything. If anything, I've got more work ahead of me, of course, than behind me at this point. But I think it's important, and I've seen the power of it. of especially older relatives and stuff like that, of what can be accomplished in someone's life, and that's a big thing. I'd like to be able to retire early, and I don't think it's impossible.
No, it's not.
I'm always looking for tools on how to do that, and I try to absorb as much as I can.
Yeah.
That's a big thing right there. Financials, and obviously money. I don't think that that's the cure-all, of course.
No, for sure.
But I do think that you can accomplish a lot with value in that regard.
Absolutely.
And give yourself a life that you're excited for in some way. Or
yeah.
I mean, and that's a big thing.
It provides opportunity.
Opportunity.
That way,
That's
right?
a better way to put it.
Yeah, like you if you like to travel, it provides you to travel. It provides if you're working somewhere and you want to start, but money is opportunity to me. What we need to figure out though is where your expectations are on money, because like a lot of people, a lot of our listeners or viewers will be saying, well, no, I'm never going to get to where I need to get to. Well, how do you know how much you need? How do you know what's going to be affordable? And the reality is how do we be happy in the moment where we're at? Okay? Because the other thing I don't want you doing is I don't want you chasing it, right?
Okay.
If we start living happy and joyful, it's going to come to you. You're going to find yourself in the right situations at the right time and with the right attitude. I always say this, one of my sayings, right, is that with a positive attitude, with kind of being fulfilled and happy inside, you become a magnet to others.
Yeah.
You become this magnet that attracts others because people want to be around you. People want to know what's with that guy. Why is he so happy?
Right.
What's going on with him? What the heck who is this guy? Because he should be upset. He should be worried. When he gets called to the boss office, he should be like in the fetal position in the bathroom like I was an hour ago. So you become this magnet. You attract things to you.
Totally.
And I don't mean this in a weird way.
No.
Mean that,
I've definitely met people like that before.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come across someone and you're just like, whoa, what's going on here?
yeah,
This
tell
person.
me.
I gotta talk to this person
Yeah.
and figure out what their deal is, because they're doing something right.
Yeah.
They've got a good attitude, and it seems like they've got it together, and I want some of that.
Absolutely. And that's the type of person that is enjoying the journey, not the destination. Because life is the destination for life is death.
That's right.
Let's be honest.
You're right, yeah.
When you get to the end of life, you die.
The journey is the destination.
Yeah. So the journey is the destination. And the only way is that you enjoy every moment along the journey. So you have to find that your satisfaction moments in where you're at today and be okay with it. Be happy. Knowing that you're moving, you're growing, you're getting to where you need to be, that the needs you have today are being fulfilled and taken care of. And that that you're willing to do things and make sacrifices and go out and do things that are going to help you grow, be better, right?
Okay.
Be more financially independent. I firmly have this really weird thing. I don't think life gives you money until you're ready to handle money.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I like
You know
that.
what I mean? You ever heard these lotteries, right? Where people win the lottery. It shows on TV. Like,
Yeah.
I won the lottery, and then 5 years later they have no money.
You got nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
So you need to get to a place where you know how to handle money before you have it.
That's fair.
So that when you get it,
Yeah.
you use it properly.
Right, because
Right.
what would I even do with it if I had no idea? You know what I mean? Then,
Yeah.
then we're getting into Ferraris and stuff.
Now you're buying cars, you're buying Playboy
Right.
You're flying girls to, your girlfriend to Paris for dinner.
Right.
That's like, and guess what? That's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay to like nice things. If you really want to, you like to travel and do it, then go for it. But that has to be the extra money.
Right, that can't
You
be.
know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And you gotta be, putting stuff to where you want, and putting money towards the things that you want out of life, right? Putting them towards what you want out of life, and whether that's getting money together to start a business, or whether getting money for a pension, or whether you're putting money towards this, and again, in that moment of maybe lack or want, or I'm not where I want to be, is you're not where you want to be because you're not ready to be there yet. So we gotta build you up to a place, and then what magically happens is as you're building up, these things just start. It's like, holy moly, what's happening?
One day and it's.
Then I just got promoted. Wow, I'm making more money. Holy mackerel. And you just kind of keep going, and life starts to come to you. Like even in relationships, right? Like I say, if you have a great attitude, like okay, here's an example. If you're a single dude, and let's just pretend you're a single dude. And you're out. Where do you meet girls now when you're 20 years old?
Well,
Where would someone meet girl? Like
I guess the bar. I don't know.
Ours was a grocery store.
The grocery store?
You never heard that?
Yeah, the grocery store.
I was always like, let's go to the grocery store. I don't know how you meet women at a grocery store, but apparently that's where it was supposed to be.
Or the bookstore. I always heard the bookstore was a thing too.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's as
Section.
much of a thing anymore. I don't know. If bookstore
I don't know. What kind of bookstore? So you might meet the wrong type of people.
I heard that there was just a small tangent. I heard that there used to be thinking like, oh, if you go to this bookstore, this is like the
Really?
whatever bookstore, and that's where you meet someone like that. And
Okay, well, in my
you go to a
day,
bookstore like this.
you went to the bookstore for inappropriate things.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Different time. Different
Just
time.
saying. Oh man.
Relationships. I think having a healthy relationship, you know, I'm gonna be going through life with a partner, and I want that to be rock solid, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have someone next to me that I'm sharing my life with, and
Yeah.
who's gonna be there with
Common goals, interests, values.
sickness and health and all those things, you know. And
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm being a good partner, being someone who's worth being with,
Yeah.
and that we're communicating. You know, I want that to be. That's another huge.
And you know you
pillar.
can't control it though. See, you know, what's interesting is I want to make sure, right, that
Interesting.
I have somebody that's going to be with me through sickness and health till death do us part, whatever you said there.
Sure.
You can't.
Okay. Yeah,
you
you're
can't
right.
make sure.
Man, I'm looking
Because
at
there's two
this
different
really-
people. You can't control them.
Mhm.
Everybody's different, right? You got to hope
Right.
that you've picked the right person.
Mhm.
You got to hope that they're honest and truthful. But and again, it all comes into the picking. So that's why with relationships, it's so important that you're finding somebody that you vibe with, someone that has the same life goals, life, you know, whatever. And what's interesting too is as life changes, life goals change too.
Yeah.
Right? You might want something different. You're 29 years old right now. You might think by, you know, when I'm 40, I'm going to like this, and I'm going to like this, and I'm going to do this. And then you turn 40, and you're like, I don't really like that anymore. I'd rather do this. So life changes, right?
Yeah.
And
For
again,
sure.
you have to be okay with that. So
You're right though, because when I was, you know, just getting back to that
Yeah.
to follow up a little bit is, you're right, because being 29 being 19
Mhm.
and thinking, what am I going to be like when I'm 29? What am I going to like? What am I
Yeah.
gonna, totally
Totally
even
different,
right
right?
there is totally
Yeah.
totally
totally different.
Yeah.
So what if you pick somebody at 19 who liked the same type of things?
Mhm.
Now you're 29, you're like, oh my God, I don't even know them anymore. They didn't change too, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you really love each other, maybe you change together to grow together, all that kind of stuff. But
Sure.
the thing is, what was really interesting is you've already set yourself up for failure.
Interesting.
I have to make sure.
Okay.
So now you're going to be, you're going to be looking at this, your girlfriend, or you're going, oh my God, I have to be sure that you're the right one, right? Because I can't make a mistake. I can't fail. I don't want heartbreak. I can't be hurt. I can't have this. This is not my life plan,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So, but you can't, that's under your control.
You're right. Yeah.
Completely. Now you have to, again, do your best, be your best,
Yeah.
you know, to them, to whatever, and hope that you have, you know, the right intuition, the right heart, and you've picked that right person. I'm not saying there isn't
Mhm.
somebody there for the rest of your life,
Sure.
but then sometimes you think you may have that, and it changes, and you have to be okay with that. I mean, it's hard, and you go through the pain and grief and everything else,
Mhm.
but the people that go through life trying to avoid it never experience it
Interesting.
because you're too bloody scared to do it.
Yeah.
Right? I go, I gotta be, you know, there's single people that are 40 years old going, no, I don't know if she's the one. And and then they say, I'm just picky.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
What
yeah.
they're trying to do is they're trying to avoid a mistake,
Yeah.
right? I can't make a mistake
Yeah.
because it's going to ruin my life,
Yeah.
right? If I get divorced, it ruins my mom and dad aren't divorced, or they are divorced, and I don't want to be like them, or my parents aren't divorced, and I don't want to be divorced.
Right. What would
I
they
can't
think of
make
me?
the same mistake,
Yeah.
right? So if you go through life hoping and trying not to make a mistake, you are never going to be happy because you're going to make mistakes every bloody day.
You're almost guaranteed to fail then, aren't you? If you're going through life hoping you never
You
make a
can,
mistake.
because you'll avoid every situation.
Yeah.
Avoid, or you will tamper it down, or you won't go for it, or, you know, like let's say there's a promotion at work, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so there's two people. There's a promotion at work,
Okay.
and there's two people that are going, interesting. I'm qualified for that job, right?
Yeah.
There's one person that says, holy smokes, like that, wow, I can't believe this position's open. And the second they're already polished up the resume, they're talking to their manager, and going, hey, what do you think? Do you think I should apply? Is this good? Do you think this could be good for me? Is it the right move?
Right.
The other person's going, oh my God, I'd really like to do that, but oh my gosh, like what happens if?
Right.
What if I don't? What if they don't? What if they pick someone else? I'm going to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be disappointed. Then what am I going to do? How am I going to work? You know, da-da-da. And then they'll avoid going for that promotion
Totally.
to try to protect themselves, right? Now, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. They might not be the right person, and they
Right.
might be rejected. But what if?
You're already shooting yourself in the foot if you're not even stepping up to the plate.
You gotta
know?
try,
Yeah.
and you learn from it. And what you do in that moment, though, is you suck it up. You face your fear. You do it anyway. You go for it, And even, I'll guarantee you this, if it was something that the last thing you want to do, and you go in that interview and you do well, and you because you prepared and you're nervous and you could have done better, but whatever, you'll at the end of the day, there's that blood like, oh my God, I feel bad. But you'll be like, you know what, I'm glad I tried. I gave it a whirl. And other people are proud that you tried.
Yeah.
And the next time something comes up, you can look at it and say, oh my God, what if I fail? But if we can change your mindset, you'll say, well, I'm still alive, I'm still good. Why don't I try again? Right? And maybe I need to prepare differently or better or things like that. So again, and I didn't mean to, I'm not hammering down saying like you're going to be unhappy, but I'm saying
I'm here for it.
things saying like that, like I want to make sure, you can't make sure. So again, you're already setting yourself up to fail. Yeah. And that's just in love and everything else. And what I was thinking of before is that attitude and carrying that positive attitude when I was saying that. So you're going to the bookstore. Great. I'm not, but you are. No, but I'm going to the club or the whatever. Right. But anyway, you see a group of let's say you see a group of someone that people that you're attracted to.
Sure. Yeah.
And for you like women. So let's say it's women, right? So and it doesn't matter who people like, but so you see this group of women that are attractive, and you see one of them, and there's two of them sitting in the corner that are just with a scowl on their face. They look like someone just stole their purse or something, right? Yeah. And then you see another girl who's smiling and happy, and she's just kind of looking around and enjoying the moment. And if you're looking and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to go ask one of those girls to dance, or I'm going to ask one of those, start a conversation. Sure. Who would you most likely go towards?
You're probably going to go to the more extroverted one there, who's kind of putting themselves out there.
Smiling, looks happy.
Of course.
So again, you're a magnet to what you want to attract and who you are. Yeah. So if you want to attract someone happy, healthy, somebody who has got their stuff together, then you need to be happy, healthy, get your stuff together, and you will be a magnet for what you want to attract. And so that same person, that happy person, that person that's got their life together, is going to be as attracted to you.
Wow, that makes so much sense.
So it's interesting, and then we can do that in all different aspects of life. So so I didn't mean to beat you up on that.
No, that's all good. I'm here to be beat up on, so that's okay.
Oh my God, Jesse, this is so amazing. Yeah. Okay, so again, like we talked about too, one of the things that holds us back. Okay, so one of the things, and I'm going to ask you, do you ever experience, like, are you fearful of something in life, or fearful of anything that you could actually say today, I didn't do that because I was fearful, or I'm not doing this because I'm scared of the results. Is there anything in your life that you're working on that? Like in the future, like next week's podcast, I'm just going to pick the subject and I'm going to roll with it. Okay. And then I'm just going to tell you what to do. Right now, this is like a freebie. You get to pick some stuff. So take advantage of it.
Something like, we're talking like a large overarching topic or something.
It doesn't have to. It could be anything small. Anything like, there's things that I would like. I would do this, but I'm just too scared of trying.
Well. Okay, well, this seems kind of small, but I guess I'll just bring it up.
Small's good.
Okay. So, my dad's birthday is coming up. Okay. And I never know what to get him. He loves books, so I usually get him books, but I feel like I've gotten him a library at this point, and I kind of need to branch out a little bit. Yeah. So, I know, and hopefully he doesn't listen to this, but I know.
Dad, turn the volume down.
So, something he's always talks about wanting to do is go up in a hot air balloon. Yeah. And I am petrified of doing something like that. Now, I'm considering getting that as like a gift for him for his birthday. Go up in a hot air balloon or something like that. I don't know. I'm terrified of doing that. Like, I want
so it's holding you back. It's holding you back.
I guess it is, because I feel like if I was being the best version of myself, I would do that with him, and we would have a fantastic time. But part of me is, I'm a little worried. Like, can I just get him one ticket to just go on his own? And can I just stay on the ground? Like, I don't know. That seems kind of small, I guess.
I'll tell you what.
That's sort of on my mind.
Okay, I'll tell you what. So birthday present, it's an amazing time, right? And if we think about some of the things we've already talked about, right? Sure. Tomorrow's not a guarantee, right? Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people, and you don't want to be that person who, you know, missed an opportunity or missed something.
Right.
This is something. Has your dad talked about it? Like, how do you know he? How do you know
he's been, like, you know, we're in the car, especially when I was younger or whatever. You'd see one and be like, "Wow, that looks like so much fun." Oh man, I bet they can see everything from up there, you know. And it's just like that was something I always just kind of filed away. And when I was a kid, it was like I can't afford whatever, you know. It's like he's getting a card that I made with crayons.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, a little bit older, I get a bit of money. What's something, you know, I know that he's gonna like, because he's kind of a tough cookie to get stuff for.
Yeah.
But I know it's like I think I've got one really good one in the chamber here for him.
So I can see it in your eyes right now. Like you're talking about it, and
Yeah.
you're lighting up. You're like, oh my god! Like you're like, if I could do this for my dad, like, if I could do this for my dad,
Yeah.
it would mean like so much to him, right?
It would.
Like,
I think it would. I think it would.
It really would. Well, listen, if it's something that he's talked about for a long time, and something that you know is like this desire,
Mhm.
if number one, it was totally unexpected. I'm assuming.
I think it would be.
Yeah,
We haven't
well,
spoken about it or
Jesse,
anything like
okay.
that. Yeah.
So it'd be like, oh my god, he listens to me. He when I've been saying things like my son actually is like,
Yeah.
wow, like he heard me.
Yeah.
Right? Where maybe other people haven't. He's been his whole life without being on one.
Yeah, I never thought of it that
Right.
way. Of like,
So that's it to him. Like that's a birthday present itself. As a father,
yeah,
you're like when your kids like do something for you or they repeat something you said, you go, oh my god, like they're actually like, hey,
yeah.
listen, that's huge. Number one.
Okay,
Number two is, let me ask you this.
all right.
What's your worst fear about going in a hot air balloon? I already know what it is. I can tell. I know what everybody's fear is going to be. But is it going to be like your hair is going to be blown in your eyes?
It's not. No, I guess I'm worried that I would perish.
Okay, so crash and burn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any statistics? Okay. So our biggest.
I did something similar though.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that was when. Okay. What do you mean similar?
Okay, so I did go on a helicopter trip once. Now I've flown on planes before. It was fine, like whatever.
Yeah.
But one time, you know, a couple of years ago, on a trip with a buddy, and we just for fun were looking up, like, you know, there's helicopters in the area. We were in Banff in Alberta.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And I was thinking, you know, it wouldn't be crazy if we just went up on a helicopter and looked at the mountains. It's like a couple $100. We're already going there.
Yeah.
Should we just do this? And I kind of just sent him as like a joke. And then he was like, yeah, let's absolutely do that. And so I just did it. We just pulled the trigger on it. We're already going on.
Were you scared?
I was scared, but I was kind of like, that's later Jesse's problem a little bit.
Interesting. Okay.
I didn't even think about it. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to do it.
Okay.
It looks fun. We got to Banff. We did all the other things we were going to do. We did whatever. We went up and we did the bars and there's a castle and all the things, you know, all the fun stuff. We did the hiking.
You went to the bookstores?
I went to the bookstore. I found the good bookstores. Went to the other bookstore. And then, you know, it was that morning, right? We got up and it was like, we're getting up early. We're going on a helicopter tomorrow morning. We're going to go see the mountains. And I got up and we had some food. I was waiting around and I was terrified, man.
Okay, what were you scared of? What was their worst fear?
Again, not
Crash and burn.
yeah, crash and burn.
Okay, it's the same thing. So I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna crash.
So I had a shot with my buddy. I'll be totally honest, I shot with my buddy. This was a little early, but we're on vacation, so I didn't really worry too much. We're also young. And then I was thinking, okay, and that'll be the bit of dissociation or whatever. That's what I need to do this. And I didn't even drive. I let him drive there because I was like, I'm not gonna think about it. And yeah, we showed up. We watched a nice little video, that little presentation for it. We met the pilot. Seemed like a nice guy, and we just did it, man. And once we got up there, and I kind of just got myself into the headspace, I was like, "This is so incredible. We're up in the mountains. It's like you could reach out and touch them, man." And it was actually
look at how you're talking about this. Like,
yeah,
like you.
I know.
That was a like for you. That was like wow.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about touching the mountains. I can see your eyes are
Yeah.
glowing. Like so let me ask you this. So you were terrified before you got on.
I was, yeah.
Even thinking about it, you were terrified. You were terrified it was going to crash and burn.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So how did you feel after you got off? The second that you touch down, you land, you undo your seatbelt. How are you feeling?
I felt like $1 million, man. I felt like a rock star. It was incredible.
You felt great.
I felt great. Yeah.
Why do you think you felt so good?
Because I was like, we did it. Like we did it.
You faced your fear.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
You were alive.
I felt alive. I'll tell you that.
Your very worst fear didn't come true.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen, and you don't have a regret now.
No, if anything, I love that I did it.
So you're like, How did others know that did others know you were fearful of this?
I had let my mom know because in case something happened. And
Okay,
she
how
would
did
be
she
like,
react after she knew that you went on it?
well, firstly, she texted me while I was up in the air. I guess I didn't really get it. And then I landed on the ground and I looked at my phone and she said, like, I am so proud of you.
Wow.
This is incredible. I would never have been able to do that, but it's so cool that you did.
How'd that make you feel?
I mean, it felt great. How could it not?
So you felt amazing.
Yeah.
So you
it was the highlight of the trip.
You faced the fear. You did it,
Yeah.
and it was like you. This memory just gels with inside of you.
Absolutely.
You're saying this like when you're talking to me about flying in the mountains.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing it. Like I can tell that.
Yeah,
now
of course.
You're visualizing yourself
Uh-huh.
and going through this. Okay, so worst fear.
Yeah.
Gonna crash and burn.
Yeah.
Right. You faced your fear. You did it, and it was amazing.
It was. Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you something about fear.
Okay.
I actually really like this analogy.
Okay.
So, University of the United States, I think it was Columbia University,
Okay.
like in 2000, I don't think it was 2012, they did a study. So what they did is all these students that were coming into university for the first year,
Mm-hmm.
they went and they gave them all this question and answer thing. And they asked them what all their greatest fear was, starting university. So all the answers were like, I'm not going to get good grades. I'm not going to have enough money to finish college. I'm going to fail out, or, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. So they wrote anything that they were scared of happening in this 4 or 5 year, journey at the university.
Yeah.
And so they asked all the questions and then they put it away. 5 years later, 4 years later, whenever graduation day is, they revisited with each one of them and they went through all the fears that they had.
Okay.
Okay. And that it came to be that 97% of every fear that they had didn't come true.
Really?
The craziest part about that is when you go back and you think about all the answers, the fears that they gave caused the greatest anxiety, right? And it was always pre-happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're wasting all this time being fearful of only a 2% chance that this thing could happen. But our brains tell us that it's the other way around.
You're right.
98% chance this helicopter is going to blow up.
Right. So I need to be on high
2%
alert.
chance I'm going to see my mom again.
That's right.
Right? That's what your brain goes. Like,
Yeah, right. We totally
don't
do.
stay away, right?
Yeah.
But here's what's different now. And it's amazing that you've already done this. Because I was going to take little baby steps. I was going to hey, we're going to blow up a balloon. We're going to go through this. But it's moments like that. And that memory you just had, and the way you recalled it, and the way you think about it, and you have to remember a couple things: how you felt before and how you felt after, because those are the moments that you build yourself on.
Okay.
So when you think of hot air balloon ride, right? You told me you think of like crash and burn.
Yeah.
I'm going down.
Yes.
Now I want you to replace it. You have to replace it with the same feeling when you got off the helicopter.
Yeah.
So you have this. Oh my God! So the second you start thinking about this balloon ride, you're going to just think about how you got off this helicopter, this thing that you didn't want to do,
Right.
and had this great triumph. You're walking on air.
Yeah.
You have a memory for the rest of your life.
That's true.
And this is a memory like none other. And I'll tell you, as from a father's standpoint, because as I told you, number one, your dad is going to be like, holy moly.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope so.
Your dad's probably going to be like, oh my, can I tell you a secret?
Sure.
Why do you think your dad's never going to win?
That's a good question. I don't know.
He's probably petrified.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Deep down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's so cool. I could never do that. Right? But you don't tell your kids that.
Right.
Okay. So you might be doing this together.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Like
That
you
would
actually
be
might be, but see, your dad doesn't want to show that fear.
Right.
So so you might both be kind of going petrified.
Yeah.
Like if you're scared.
Trying to be tough for each other.
Yeah. So you might have to tell your dad the helicopter story. Okay? It's like honestly, on the drive over, you might be going, your dad might be going, oh my God. You're like, Dad, you know what? Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
Remember the helicopter?
Let me tell you what Bryce told me. Yeah.
I was petrified. Okay. I was so scared.
Yeah.
But Dad, the feeling afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Now,
it's
here's the
incredible.
thing. And if he's not, and that's, I mean, he may not be, I'm just teasing, but here's the thing, what you don't want is life is not guaranteed. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
How would you feel if, because again, I watched your face on how you described this moment, how your dad talked about it, how it would feel to be with your dad and seeing him. Like, what if he just said, hey, son, guess what? He calls you up tomorrow and says, guess what? You never believe it. Like, I was Johnny from work. He took me on a hot air balloon last night. It was so cool, man. It was like
I think I'd be a little disappointed that I didn't get the opportunity to be the one to do
This
it.
is something that you think about when you think of your dad, something that he would want to do.
Yeah.
You want to be the one that sees his eyes as he's floating through the clouds.
Yeah,
right.
You're right.
You want to be the one that was sitting beside him when you're thinking about that experience about the helicopter and you're looking up and you're seeing the clouds. Like I think you said you could almost touch the mountains.
I did say that. I
right?
believe, yeah.
You can touch the mountains. When you get to see that in your dad.
Yeah.
And now that memory lasts forever. Your dad, on the flip side, this moment in time is 1,000 times more special than some random person, or he's on a vacation and just happened to be a hot air balloon place there and he jumped up and did it. Where he's like, oh my God, my son was thinking about me. He was thinking about me a lot because he put a lot of thought in this. I know he's scared, but he's still going to do this because he wants to experience this with me.
Yeah.
And then to share that experience, he'll be talking about that for the rest of his life. He'll tell the story you just told. He'll be like telling anybody he knows, like, my God, you could see, I could reach out and touch it. And then and my son was right there. It's a moment that you don't want to regret.
You know what really, you kind of just sold me on it big time. And I think the thing was when you said, I just went up in a balloon with some guy from work or whatever. And when you said that, I was thinking, I want to be the guy in the story. I want to be hearing about the story.
Right.
And to be the one who's actually like, let's do this, even though I'm petrified of heights apparently, but I know this is something that I think you would enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, if I could bring that.
Yeah. Okay. So now so you come to a crossroads. Okay. So you've said this is something and you want to be that guy.
I want to be that guy.
But you're that guy.
Wow.
You are that guy.
Yeah, you're right.
So what did we talk about earlier? You can't, life's not going to change you.
Mm-hmm.
Your life's not going to just all of a sudden you wake up like, hey, I love balloon rides, just because you want to.
Right.
But you can make a choice and you can make a decision to say, damn it, I'm freaked out.
Yeah.
Right. But hey, you know what? I've done this before. Right. And I'm going to do it again because the reward is so incredible.
Yeah.
And I don't want to miss that reward. I don't want to not see my dad. I don't want to not be that person. And so I'm just going to choose to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when he's also saying, but what if? Think about the helicopter ride. You thought the same thing was going to happen. It didn't happen. Exactly. And you make the choice and you step out and do it. You're going to feel brilliant. You're going to feel amazing. You're going to feel incredible. And the best part about that whole thing is when you get off of the helicopter or off the balloon, you're going to feel that way.
Mm.
But every birthday from then on in, every family gathering,
yeah.
every time your dad's talking to someone new,
mm-hmm.
you're going to feel all over you because he's going to be telling the whole world about it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're really right about that. And I want to be in that story.
Well, I'm going to make you.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
When's his birthday?
It's just over a week from now.
Okay, well, you have no choice.
Okay.
This is all about accountability because
you're right.
If you want to change, I'm going to help you change.
You're right.
Part of doing that is to make sure.
I signed up for this.
When we film or we record our next podcast, for next week's podcast.
Yeah. You want to see the receipts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right.
And if you're going up, you call me because I will come film it.
Okay, sounds good.
I want to be.
I like that.
And I can give you a pep talk if you need. Because again, it's one thing to talk about, one thing to say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to not feel fear.
Right.
You're going to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to remind yourself that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's likely not going to happen.
Okay.
It's really not going to happen. Okay. I mean, listen, I've been around for 50 years, 52 years. I think I'm 52, 53, something that old.
Yeah.
I've lived in a lot of different places, a lot of cities. I don't think I ever saw in the news that a hot air balloon killed people in my city.
Now, do you think looking at statistics will help or hurt my inner?
Well, you're going to look for the worst.
You're right.
You're not going to say how many safe flights were there.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: and I'm not talking about going to some riffraff place and go to a reputable place that has experience, has done it before.
Right.
You're going to find those people take great care of their craft, right?
I hope so. Yeah.
There's safety proven. There's things. Trust me, it's not some fly by night thing that's going on. Many people have written those blue. As a matter of fact, if you're listening or you're watching, in the put in the comments hey, I took.
I would love to know.
I'd like to know if anybody took a blue.
I'd like to know.
And guess what?
Good stories.
If they can write a comment, they're still here.
That's right.
They made it, man. They've done it. But here's the thing. It's life's about is about taking a risk for reward.
Okay.
Calculating risk. You're not doing something crazy. It's not like I'm saying to you, hey, you know what, Jesse? Let's go on Amazon and let's buy a hot air balloon that we've never flown before, know nothing about. Let's take your dad up. That's what we're talking about. You're going to a professional that's going to take you up for a guided tour.
That's a good distinction to make.
And you can also modify it, right? So if it's like, hey, you know what, we go for a 3-hour ride, around all this stuff, you're like, whoa, maybe if the first time, can we do something for an hour? Or we can do something for half an hour? Something you can modify it to fit your needs. And again, every time you take one of these steps, you face your fear, you do it, and you do it, you face it, you do it, you accomplish it. You're going to build confidence in yourself. You're going to build confidence in your fear levels are going to start decreasing. You're going to have many more things that you can remind yourself. Every time you get scared of something, wait a second. I was scared of going to a helicopter. I did that.
Yeah.
And I felt great. I was scared of going to balloon. I did that. And I felt great. And every time you hit these things, you're going to remember and remind yourself of all these things you were fearful of that never happened and how much better off you feel than it was. And then at the end, right, it's not part of that list
of regrets.
Man.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
You can do it?
I'm going to do it.
All right. So
I'm going to do it.
If you're listening or watching, make sure you tune in next week.
Keep me accountable.
I'm going to make sure that he brings the receipts.
That's
and
right.
If you're going, you're going to text me and tell me you're going. And I'm telling you, we need to.
We'll try to get
it's an accomplishment, man.
I appreciate that.
And tune in. And so, and if you're listening or watching, if there is something this week or something that you know that you're not doing because you're fearful of, something that you know.
What's your hot air balloon?
What's your hot air balloon? That's exactly right. Good call, producer Jesse. That's why I hear you. You're the best. But you're right. What is your hot air balloon? What are the things? Was there something that you're not doing, right? That you know that you're not doing it because you're scared of what could happen, what might happen, whatever. And I'm going to challenge you to look back at something that you were scared of before, and you did. And you were successful, you've come through it, and you replace those, the thoughts of, it's going to be that positive thought. Hey, you know what? I've done this. Okay, I'll be honest. I hate needles, man.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, needles are giving blood. I hate it. To this day. Hate it. I used to hide. Like when they used to give me needles in school,
right?
I would run and hide in the bathroom all day.
Really?
Oh, my parents, they couldn't find me. The principal was looking for me in the elementary school. And my whole life just fearful of needles, like so scared of needles and blood tests or whatever.
Do you have any tattoos?
Not yet. I'm going to get one.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to get poked that much.
I feel like I was more scared before I got it. I only have 2, but after I did that, I think it was a lot easier.
Because
you faced your fear, I guess.
You did it. Yeah. It's not so bad.
That's not so bad.
Right? So you do it once, like, oh my God, and you do it. And I'll be honest, the first 5 or 6 times when I'm like, okay, I have to do this. Yeah. They were ready for me. Like when I went to take my blood. Yeah. Like I don't get to sit out with, at the little kids table with the little flop arm. Right. I get to go to the cushy chair in the back. Oh, okay. They know me, right? So they got the cloth goes on my forehead. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. And
full service.
I sit in the chair.
First class.
Well, because the first 5 times I passed out.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Unless I woke up and I'm on the floor. And so now I get the cushy seats and they set me up. But you know what? I did it. And I was like, oh my God, I passed out. But I was still okay. I woke up and I was fine. Yeah. So the next time I went, okay, I did it before I passed out, and each time I got better and I reminded myself, I've done this, right? And I'm glad I did. They were able, I'm glad I did. I don't have to worry or be fearful of having something because I got my blood test, right? Right. So I went through it. And now I'm still scared of needles. Like, I'll be honest, I don't like them. And I don't know if I'm like scared, I just don't like them.
I don't know if anyone could like them.
Well, and some people just go, oh, I got to give blood today. And I'm like, oh, like really? Just like that. Like I gotta visualize it. But regardless, but I do it, right? I face it and I do it. And each time it's gotten easier and better. And I mean, there's silly little things, but whatever it is, what's your hot air balloon? What is your story? And is there something that I want to, again, this is like the homework. This is like the challenge, okay? Sure. Anybody watching or listening, what's your hot air balloon? What do you have coming up that you're fearful of and you're not doing or you're avoiding or you're hanging away, maybe it is giving blood, maybe it's going to the doctor, maybe it's going to the dentist, maybe it's riding the hot air balloon, maybe it's going for promotion at work, maybe it's whatever it is, what is it that you're doing? And remember the times you've done things before where you faced your fear, you did it anyway, and you were successful. Replace the negative with the positive end results, and then just make a choice and do it. You don't want to live with any regrets. At least I don't think you do. I don't want want to.
I don't either.
And I don't want to be that guy that says, I wish. No,
Mhm.
I did. Some were great, some I failed, but I did it.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to live our lives. So what is that? I challenge everybody out there to go for it this week. And you know what? Send your testimonies. And you can find, in whatever, all the social medias you're on, whatever it may be, it's at Doing Life Today.
Yes.
On all the social medias, on podcasts, whatever it might be. And you know what? Send us a note. Send us a message.
Show us
send us a
receipts.
comment, DM, whatever.
Yeah, I want receipts.
Yeah,
Like,
do it, right?
I'm doing it. You guys got to do
You
it.
come with Jesse. Yeah, you know what? We'll have like a party. Okay, Jesse and who else did it? You know what? And we'll like let's celebrate together. Let's triumph together.
Great, yeah.
And you know what? It could be the smallest thing.
Sure.
Because it could be a large thing, it could be small thing. Whatever it is, send us a note. Let us know you did it. Let us celebrate with you. And you know what? Tune in next week because we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
Did you buy the tickets, man? and we'll find out how it was and how you did it, and we'll kind of journey that through. And then I got something else I want to talk about next week. Another life thing, something you can do that's going to improve your life. Some simple thing you can change in your life that's going to, make you feel better, help you do better, make you feel more happy, joyful, and live your best life.
Can't wait.
Right on. Cool.
Thanks so much.
Right on. I like it, man.
Right on.
Cool. And then we're going to do outro.
Outro.
Right on. Cool. Awesome, man. Good call.
That's a wrap.
Podcast. I like it. Fantastic.
Excellent.
Right on.
Good stuff.
Man, oh man. How long was that?
That was about an hour.
An hour? Are you joking? Was it really?
Yeah, that was about an hour.
See ya. See ya. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon. Oh. I gotta put my glasses on because I'm old. How do I end this?